Leaders are everywhere in sports. They are sometimes the star player. At times they are the role player. And in other moments, they can be the inspiration, which drives others to succeed. Jace Bowling is such a leader. He was adopted by Ed Bowling when he was just 5 years old, bringing him from Wuhan, China to the United States and to London, Kentucky. But Jace had a physical disability.
He has what's called PFFD, which stands for proximal focal femoral disorder. And to kind of wrap that up in a nutshell, it happens in utero while he's in the womb. But at the time when the fetus starts to develop long bones, there's some kind of DNA hiccup that happens. But for Jace, on each hand, he only has 3 fingers. But his left leg, he did not have a femur, which is the bone from your knee to your hip. So when that happened, everything distal got brought up. So his foot stopped where his other leg knee would be.
So amputation was necessary, despite having to be constantly being fitted for a new prosthetic leg as he got older. It did not stop him from loving sports.
I think it was just the people that I hung around with. So like they all played sports, and as a kid you don't want to be left out, so you want to get in there and compete with them. And then I've always just been competitive too, so like I always try my best to beat them, and I just like the competitive part about sports.
As a youngster, Jace played football and then later tennis and soccer, but he always loved basketball.
My cousin, he played football, and so I was like, I'm going to play football, but that didn't work out. So it became basketball very early on. As soon as I got to America, I was obsessed with sports, mainly because my first cousin, like he played him, so I looked up to him. But then as in terms of pro level, probably LeBron James. I'm a big fan.
Jace made the basketball team as a 5th grader, and his love for the game grew even more. As a member of the South Laurel High School basketball team, Jace didn't play a lot, but he studied the game.
I think it's more of a mental aspect, like just the IQ of like the game, like just like ball movement and just passes. And like I feel like I see the court well, but like I can see and I know what to do, but it's hard for me to execute it. But I can tell someone else to execute it.
Understanding he would not have a lot of opportunities on the court, Jace became the consummate teammate.
He knows his limits, and he's okay with that. He doesn't want to be looked at, let's give him the ball so he can shoot a basket. And the team and the coach never did arrange things to where that would work.
How do you want me to treat you? And I said, just like any other player. So from that day on, he pushed me, and he'd get up. He'd yell at me. He never let me feel sorry for myself. And he wanted me to be an accountability guy for the other guys. And one thing for me is just if he saw me going hard, then it would make it would show the other guys they don't have an excuse to give up. So he kind of just used me as a motivator.
The night which stands out above all others came February 20th of this year, senior night for the Cardinals against Rockcastle County.
The one that I remember was recently. It was our last home senior game, and he got to start.
Jace Bowling. Jace is being escorted by his father, Nick Bowling.
And he got the first 3-point shot.
Jace was 1 for 1 on the night, hitting that lone 3-pointer.
My favorite memory is probably senior night. Just get to start and I guess scoring right away or whatever.
The future goals are simple for Jace. He wants to go to the NBA. No, not to win a title as a player, but in another field.
No, one thing, I always want to be around sports. I don't want a job that's not around sports. But whether that be, I don't know, a physical therapist or one thing I'd like to be is, I think being a scout would be awesome. Just anything around basketball.
Part of the management You know, being there in the locker room when they're celebrating, or be in the locker room when they lost a game and they're crying. That's his passion.